to be under the sea. In an octopus's garden with you.
And to our harbour system of Sydney, Middle Harbour, Sydney Harbour, Lane Cove and Parramatta Rivers, and the many species of sharks that lie beneath. We are actually going to talk bull sharks after 9 today with Amy Smoothie from the DPI Fisheries. I believe there are plenty of bull sharks under the water, but a big hello to Marco Bordieri of the Sydney Underwater Gazette. Hello to you, and arrivederci to the Port Jackson sharks, I believe, Marco.
Good morning, Renee.
Good
We are
morning.
saying good morning. We are saying arrivederci to the Port Jackson shark.
Now, Port Jackson sharks, just explain how they look, how big they are, and how they are different to other sharks, like bull sharks, for example.
Sure. Well, totally different. Bull sharks can grow up to 3 meters and more, and they are supposed to be, they may be dangerous in some circumstances. Port Jackson shark is a relative, but is totally harmless. Is a small shark. It's like 150 centimeters long, and the mouth is pretty small. Their teeth are pretty tiny. It's very rare they attack. You really need to put your hands in their mouth, I have to say. And they look like they're brown with some black patterns. They are easily recognizable because they got like a triangle on the side near the pectoral fin.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very, the reason why we are saying arrivederci is because they are seasonal. So we've been tracking them for the last 3 years in our citizen science project, where we track when the species first arrive and leave an area. And normally they can be seen in our dive sites near our coast between July and November, when the water is below 19 degrees. For some reason, they don't like warm water. When it gets above 19 degrees, they migrate elsewhere where it's cooler.
I see. So they're only found in southern parts of Australia. So they are local to here.
Absolutely. It's you won't find them anywhere in the world other than from Coff Harbour to Perth going south. So all the southern part of Australia. So it's indeed, as the name suggests, is indeed the local.
I see. So even though they're locals, because the water becomes too warm, you said, above 19 degrees, they don't like it, they decide to say arrivederci or goodbye. They're leaving the harbour.
Yeah, they live in the harbour. They've been tracked by the Macquarie University. They actually go south. So from Sydney, they go all the way to Tasmania, which is 600 kilometers, which is such a long way. But they're looking for fresher water. And then when the water becomes warmer, colder, they migrate back north around July.
July, we'll see them again. These lovely little short, small, harmless sharks, as you say.
Totally.
They live for a long time. They live to like 30 years.
Yeah, they live 30 years. They become sexually mature around 10. And normally, when you see them around here in winter, you can see them breeding. They're very active. You can see males, females, and but the mortality of the eggs is like 90%, because what happens? The eggs just float around, on the floor, and they have a number of predators. So the eggs are often eaten by other fish, or even sometimes the same male Port Jackson has been seen eating their own eggs, which is a pity because they've been spending so much energy in breeding, and then sometimes they eat their own eggs.
Gosh. That is surprising. When they mate, that is quite unusual, isn't it? How? Just explain how the Port Jackson shark mates.
Well, without being too graphic, I have to say, what they do, they bite the males, which are a little bit shorter. They bite the pectoral fin of the female, and that's to manifest the intention, so the female knows that something is happening, but also to acquire a stable position, because the male is shorter. So in order to be aligned, they have to bite the pectoral fin, which is kind of a midway on the body. And you can see them biting. Sometimes there are actually 2-3 males around the female, and everybody's just biting something. Sometimes a male is biting another male. It's an interesting scene, and it's quite it's easy to spot. If you spend some time in the water, like in June, July, it's quite common to see this scene.
Do all sharks mate like that, biting the pectoral fin of the female to hold them in position?
Yeah, many of them. There is also, we published a video from a couple of months ago. There was a grainer shark that was doing exactly the same. So they tend to bite in order to, to manifest the intention and again, probably to have a stable position.
Mm. Well, fascinating. So goodbye to the Port Jackson Sharks, but we'll see them back, you say, next July for mating. Marco Bordieri, thank you very much for the last 6 or so weeks being here on ABC Saturday Mornings with me. Simon Marnie will be back next Saturday, so you'll be able to say hello to him, but arrivederci from me.
Arrivederci to you as well.
And
Have a
have a
good
lovely
day.
Christmas, Marco.
You too. Thank you, Renee.
Marco Bordieri from the Sydney Underwater Gazette.